recording? Perfect. So I was saying that thank you for being here, and this is a gift, I think, for all of us. Monday night, a little bit tired. Some people might be very energized after a swim and a run, and I really envy some people here. But I'm happy to practice with you. And the invitation today, we're going to do some breathing, but also we're going to use our memories to reflect on the weekend. But you're always free to follow my guidance or not. But this is intend to be something in which we've seen this in the health course and the stress course that we do with breathworks. So for those who've been to the course, it's going to be familiar or just to remember this practice, but I find it very useful today, particularly after a busy weekend. So just in the position, the posture you happen to be, it's fine. And before we begin with the traditional form meditation, I'm going to invite you to start shaking a little bit your hands. And if your hands are hanging, like on the sides of the body, is better. And when the fingers are shaking, you might feel as well that the wrists are shaking as well. Sue is standing, which is also advisable if you want. And then you can feel your elbows shaking, lower arms, upper arms, and then your shoulders, like they come together with this movement, and then the neck. And if you don't want to stand up, as I am doing sitting here, because I fear that if I stand up, I can't continue talking, I'm just jumping on my chair and shaking my legs, my toes, and I can feel some heat coming up. So the temperature in my body is changing. How is it for you? Some deep breaths, perhaps. And just relaxing, moving the neck. And now softly and gently bringing this jiggling to an end. And coming back to your meditation posture, whatever posture you want to practice today. So I'm in a sitting position. I'm already closing my eyes, but eyes open is also fine, remember. So there's nothing here that you have to follow. The only thing that I would recommend to follow is yourself. Is how you feel. And starting to tune into your body sensations after this shaking and this jiggling. How's the temperature in your body? Perhaps you can feel the heart rate a little bit faster. And perhaps your breath is also changing. Perhaps deeper, shallow, or a little bit agitated after these movements. Just letting everything be as it is. There's no need to change anything at the moment. We're just observing the effects of those movements. Perhaps some tingling in the fingers, toes, or perhaps some parts of the body are softer than at the beginning of this session. Perhaps the shoulders, the arms, the legs. What is it in the face? The forehead, cheeks, eyes, lips. Just checking. Visiting the body, perhaps for the first time during the day. And noticing how everything is connected. Little movements can have an effect in the body. And sometimes we are rushing everywhere, perhaps even rushing to get on time to this session. So now we have time to settle, to come to stillness, and have this meeting not with me, with Sue, or with all of us, but perhaps this meeting with yourself, with your own experience. So all of us come together with our smiles, our tiredness, our joys, but also having a meeting, a reunion with ourselves, which I find amazing that we can do this. And what is it like to give the weight of the body to gravity? Gravity is always there, holding us, embracing us, I would say. And sometimes when we are very unconscious, just unconscious, we don't need to be very unconscious, just being unconscious, we tend to pull up against gravity, to resist gravity. What is it like to give the weight of the body to gravity only for this moment? The legs being held by gravity, noticing the contact with the floor. And the contact with the seat, or the couch, or the bed. And softening, loosening, knowing that we are being held. And now bringing the attention to the breath. Remembering that it's not about breathing. It's not like, oh, now we're going to breathe. No, we were already breathing, or perhaps we were already breathed. The body was breathing. Our attention was just somewhere else. And that's okay. The invitation is to bring attention to the breathing sensations in the body. Being there. It could be noticing sensations in the abdomen, expanding and subsiding with each in-breath and out-breath. Or perhaps it's in the chest where you can feel the breath more comfortable, more vivid. Or the nostrils. Perhaps it's the whole torso moving up and down. So choosing that part of the body where you can feel the breath more comfortable, more vividly, where your mind can rest easily, where your mind can be at home. And if the breath is not available for you at the moment, it's okay. You could choose to place your attention in any other part of the body that works as an anchor for you. A part where it feels steady, balanced, stable, grounded. It's your attention and you're playing with it. You have choice, always, not only during this practice, but in life. You have choice, remember. And just following those sensations, whether it's the breath or any other sensations in the body. And if it's the breath, inhabiting the breath, being present for each in-breath and each out-breath. And it's the same with any other sensations in the body. Inhabiting that part of the body, not thinking of that part of the body, but being there, sensing. And if the mind is wandering off at some point, remember that that's natural. That's what minds do. And the invitation is perhaps to smile and congratulate yourselves because you are awake, you are aware, and you have choice to bring the attention back to the breath or your anchor. And now the invitation is to use our memories to reflect on something we did for ourselves last weekend, or maybe today, in the last few days. Something we did for ourselves of which we can be grateful for. Perhaps we joined a yoga lesson, yoga class. Perhaps we cooked something nourishing for us. Anything you did, or perhaps something not that you did, but that you were. Perhaps you were patient towards yourself or any pain you had. You were kind. Anything. It could be something very tiny, but in the tiny things, there's usually huge difference in the way we approach life. So reflect on something you did for yourself in the last few days that made you feel loved, cared for, happier, healthier. Perhaps you looked after your plants and that's something you love. Or you read a book that you enjoy. And if the mind is telling you, no, you didn't do anything good for you, you can smile to those thoughts, as we have learned, and say, thank you, but let me see if I can find something. If it was a difficult weekend, perhaps just getting out of bed and having a shower is something we can celebrate, congratulate ourselves for. So choose one thing that you did for yourself. It could be something that helped you with your health physically or mentally. Whatever it is, bring it to mind using your memory and living it again, like revisiting that moment. Perhaps it's something you didn't think you did, but now you're realizing you did for yourself and you are grateful. And showing some appreciation for yourself some admiration. And those are feelings that we can cultivate in our hearts. Celebrating, congratulating, admiring. And if words work with you, you can say, oh, well done. I did this. And it felt great. I cooked a nourishing meal. Perhaps I said no to someone, and I was prioritizing my health. Or I said yes, or I had that conversation that I was postponing, whatever it is. Rejoice in that moment. And congratulate yourself. Be grateful. Feeling that gratitude in the body. Perhaps now that you're reflecting on that situation, there could have been many things preventing you from doing that, and you still did it. And while feeling that appreciation and that gratitude, admiration for yourself, noticing how does it feel in the body? Now that you're reflecting on that situation, how do you feel now? Any emotions arising? Any thoughts, perhaps? Something new that you didn't know? Any sensations in the body? And perhaps you can also notice that that situation might have had an effect on you, but also in other people around you. And we tend to be very critical when we make mistakes, something we do goes wrong. But only for now, enjoying and savoring that thing that you did that went very well for you and perhaps for others. And letting that emotion stick in your heart and your body. Remembering your skills, your attitudes, your qualities to have done that. And that well done, that you can say to yourself with joy and love and gratitude. And you might be finding many other situations. And keep enjoying them and reflecting on them with kindness, by cheering yourself up. While staying grounded in your body, noticing sensations, emotions, thoughts coming and going. And now coming back to your anchor or your breath, whatever is working for you at the moment. Noticing this breath coming in and this breath going out, and this breath coming in and going out. Just relaxing in gravity. While the breath is bringing oxygen, energy, and I'm going to read a very short poem before we bring this meditation to an end, that says, "Be softer with you. You are a breathing thing, a memory to someone, a home to a life. Be softer with you. You are a breathing thing, a memory to someone, a home to a life." And very gently, beginning to bring some movements to the body, perhaps the fingers, or shoulders, wrists, perhaps massaging your face, stretching your arms, and slowly coming back to the Zoom session. I'm going to stop recording now, so we have some time to share whatever came up for you and for us. If I find the bottom again, back.